Well, we are tracking the latest on the severe weather potential for this afternoon and evening, followed by windy, cooler weather for the rest of the week into next week, and more rain chances ahead. So we had an early morning round of thunder for much of central and western Minnesota. Leftover storms that bowed out produced some pretty high wind gusts in parts of southwestern Minnesota, and some of those showers are still going across northern Minnesota this morning. But the main round we're looking at is this second round that develops this afternoon, evening, ahead of a pretty potent cool front swinging in from the southwest. Not a pretty typical direction, but here's the storm reports from overnight. A lot of wind reports here. Wind gust reports 73 miles an hour in Lake Benton at 3:17 this morning. And then those storms largely weakened as they moved east and missed a lot of the metro too. But we have a lot more moisture in the atmosphere today. Dew points are in the 60s across really the whole state, even low to mid 60s here in the Twin Cities and southeastern Minnesota. So enough moisture out there. And temperatures warming back into the 70s and low 80s across the state today, ahead of that blast of cool air, which you can already see there on those high temperatures in South Dakota. So we have that enhanced risk, looks much like it did yesterday, mostly western Wisconsin, pushing into the east metro and east central Minnesota. The risk of tornadoes, large hail, and high wind gusts really associated with those storms initially. It's going to be a very narrow window, though. We've got this incoming cool front, as I talked about, and it's this very narrow slice. This is from this morning between the cold front or near the cold front and behind that cloud deck that's left over from some of the storms out ahead of that front. So that narrow window shows up in this significant tornado parameter forecast too. So we've got just those storms that initially develop somewhere here in central, east central Minnesota into western Wisconsin that'll have the right conditions to produce potentially some tornadoes, but also some large hail that we'll show in a second too. So looking at three different models, the updraft helicity tracks, and you get generally that idea that it's central Minnesota into western Wisconsin that has the best chance of some of those stronger storms, because they're going to develop probably right on top of the Twin Cities or central Minnesota. It takes an hour or so to get fully mature and severe. But there is the potential for some large hail in that zone, 2 inches plus. And of course, that'll be shifting as the front shifts to the north and east too. So here's 2 p.m., storms popping and then moving north and east, 4 p.m. And then we'll continue into northeastern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin through the overnight. And then we're going to get wraparound showers tomorrow. Not a very nice Friday on the way, but a replay here again, 2 p.m., storms popping here in central Minnesota, maybe right on top of the Twin Cities, and then tracking north and east. And it is, again, after an hour or so that those storms develop that they'll start to become problematic and potentially more severe. Behind the front, a lot of wind too, 20 to 40 mile an hour sustained winds. We're talking 50 mile an hour gusts plus maybe in western Minnesota, separate from the storms, just behind that cool front. So we do have a wind advisory here this afternoon and tonight in the southwestern part of the state. And then Friday, wraparound, lingering scattered showers. It's going to be a crummy day. It'll feel more like fall tomorrow and Saturday. And yeah, those are snow showers, maybe in northwestern Minnesota. Probably not amounting to much, but they could easily see some flakes up around Halleck. Highs low 60s tomorrow for us, but 50s for much of the state. And then Saturday, most of the state, 50s and even 40s for high temperatures. A full 45, 50 degree swing for northern Minnesota locations from what they saw earlier in the week. And that's going to set us up for a cold overnight. Lows on Sunday, early Sunday morning, 40s here, but frosty potentially in northern Minnesota. And we're still watching the next chance of rain coming in on Tuesday, but the European model has been shifting a little further south here. So maybe we're on the northern edge of that system. Might mean we're cooler and drier, but we'll keep an eye on that because we definitely need the rain. Not everybody's going to get a soaking out of this system because these are going to be those thunderstorm type precip patterns where some areas get a lot of rain and some areas 10, 20 miles away get little or nothing. So it's that hit and miss, draw the dice with this. So Tuesday rainfall could be beneficial too for those of us that miss it. But otherwise, yeah, kind of a cool stretch here. Maybe warming up to normal again by Memorial Weekend, but into next week, it's looking below normal.